What are you doing, Rob?
Like, man, I'm getting pumped.
Man, Rob's having a great time already.
I just got thrown off, but hello everyone. I can see that we've already got a few people in the chat. I am Josh, dancing the dance machine, mean green dance machine Rob, somewhere on the screen here. We got Richard and Caitlin. I don't know what position I'm in on this frame, so I'm just gonna go that way. How you guys doing?
Caitlin's above you. I'm to your upper left.
I'm on your left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Captain America.
I'm doing good. Rob's dancing just threw me off entirely.
What are you dancing to is my question.
You know what's funny is my dancing throws everyone off usually.
Yeah. My dancing like clears a path of like just people away from me just because it's that bad.
When I dance, usually someone gets hurt.
Oh,
most of the time it's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes
I've definitely hurt myself dancing before.
As long as there's the tune of boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well,
we are off to a flying start.
On that note, how was your weeks? Rob, we didn't get to talk to you on Thursday, but I'm assuming you watched the second episode sometime between then and now.
I did. I loved it so much I lost all my hair. Like from then that, like I had like a full beard going. I had long hair. It was so much fun. I caught and run, man.
I should have used that excuse like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was basically. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. You know, I think it was cool because I think last time we were really all talking about how we didn't know the dynamic of the relationship between Omega and the rest of the team. And that was really shown in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
just rewatched it as we were loading up here, and they did on the second viewing. It's really not amazing, but they just did a really good job with how they built out that dynamic between Omega and Hunter, and even Omega and Wrecker. Like the two of them, or three of them have like we've really seen a bond. So like I'm looking forward to seeing her connect with the rest of the team now too.
Yeah, definitely.
Echo and Tech.
My only one issue though that I had in the entire, I don't know if you guys had seen this too, but like you know, when Tech and Echo were trying to like, you know, fix the ship and get away, and then like we had the other team just trying to sneak in. Wrecker just said, "Hey, I'll be right back." We have no idea how he got over there. He just showed up and was like, "I'm over here." Like, you're a big dude. I would have been like, "What? How'd you?"
It was the hat,
dude.
You know, he was wearing like that like farmer hat.
Yeah.
You
know? Don't they always do that with the big guys like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved his outfit. I was like, this is totally fitting for your character. I think this is fun. But how the heck did you get past all these people when they just like they're trying to get through and you just show up? Like
what we didn't see was that there was just a trail of dead bodies behind him.
Yes.
Probably.
No, all he says is just don't worry about it.
Yeah. Right.
Don't worry about it. I mean,
oh man, so what are you guys looking forward to in tonight's episode? Like we don't have the episode title yet or the description, so it's kind of up in the air, right?
I'm hoping that we see them actually start to like take jobs and figure out, oh, we need money for fuel and food and ammunition and not getting shot by random people from the Empire.
Well, something that I just thought about too, as I was rewatching the episode, is they, Tech gave them their chips or chain, whatever.
Chain codes.
Yeah, chain codes. We don't know how many credits he put on there.
Oh man,
good question.
I don't think they took them though. Did he? Because it seemed like he only gave it to Cut and his family, and I guess Omega. But it didn't seem like they took Chang.
But Omega has one supposedly.
Yeah, Omega does have one
Yeah.
because he made 5 because she was supposed to go with Cut and the family and did not.
And he could have loaded it up on so many credits.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been like, hey, we're going to go to some, like, I don't know, casino planet and go have some fun for a little while.
I believe that's called
episode
Canto
8. I was going to say Last Jedi much?
Yeah.
Yeah, you referenced your favorite
X
movie, Rob.
That's a bad idea because it's a shitty idea.
Oh God!
Don't ever go to Canto Bite again.
I was I don't know where everybody has Last Jedi in like their Star Wars rankings, but yeah.
Mine's pretty low.
Yeah, you know, like
I'd say somewhere in my bottom 3. I think.
Shay and I were talking about that.
Special on repeat.
See, that's great. for me. Like I didn't not like The Last Jedi. I liked The Force Awakens better than The Last Jedi, but I liked The Last Jedi better than I liked The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker did certain things better than The Last Jedi did, but I think overall The Last Jedi did things better than The Rise of Skywalker did.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, that was weird. But like I feel like if I wasn't a Star Wars fan, I feel like I would probably enjoy some of Last Jedi because I wouldn't have anything allure
to go off of.
Yeah, if it was just this allure of this guy called Luke Skywalker and I had no idea who he was, I would have no investment into it. So like,
yeah,
it wouldn't be a bad story per se if there wasn't already these like characters that we've had for the last 40 some years plus, and you go, well, why is Luke a grumpy guy?
No, I definitely didn't like the Luke stuff. I did like the Rey in Last Jedi. It seemed like was kind of just some random person. I liked that because that kind of ties back to the Clone Wars stuff where it wasn't you had to be a Skywalker to be Force sensitive.
Right.
See, that's why again, that like for me, like I liked the Luke stuff, but I didn't like any of the stuff on Canobite. I thought all that was dumb. The stuff on the ship outside of Poe getting rewarded for being an idiot, I also thought was good.
Yes.
But like I like the stories. I like the storyline between everyone on the ship. What was happening with Rose and what was happening with Finn. Even what was Laura Dern's character's name? Like Waldo. I don't remember.
One sec, I'll look it up.
Dr. Sadler.
But yeah, like I liked most of that stuff. I just felt like they were making things unnecessarily difficult by being like, oh well, we don't have to tell you what our plan is, and if they would have just told him what the plan was, none of that would have happened.
Vice Admiral Holdo.
Yeah. It was one of those things where like everyone made mistakes and they were just all stupid mistakes that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Admiral, hold the door. Hodor.
I mean, that's more or less what she did. But yeah, so I don't know what else to discuss before this comes in. We haven't really had a whole lot of Star Wars news. I know we have heard a little bit about Kenobi. Ewan McGregor was talking about it a little bit.
Yeah. There's rumors that it's going to be the first live action Inquisitor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors for sure.
And they're supposed to start filming soon, right?
They already started.
They already started.
Yeah, like just within the last couple weeks.
I think the biggest thing live action that would make me lose my shit is Cad Bane.
Same.
Oh man, I want Cad Bane. After going through Clone Wars, I want Cad Bane so much in live action.
I would love Hondo in live action too.
Hondo, yes.
A lot of people really want to see Thrawn. I know.
Yeah.
So here's
doesn't everyone want Benedict Cumberbatch to play him?
He doesn't want to do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hondo Anaka in Clone Wars version, or are we doing it in Rebels?
I prefer Clone Wars, but I'll take Rebels.
Yeah, I haven't gotten through Rebels yet, but I do love him in Clone Wars.
He's kind of the old space pirate in Rebels. I like him as a little bit more. He kind of like, I don't know. I think he's kind of spacey in Rebels.
I'm just gonna hop over to the chat here really quick. Donnie Pearson is in the chat. How's it going, Donnie? Thank you for joining us. Tester Cantlon is here. Django Fett is back with us again, and Pikachu Master 542 and J&R Films is back again. Thank you all for joining us. J&R Films says that he liked the sequels, but after seeing The Mandalorian and other Star Wars content, I realized that there was a lot of potential that was unused for those 3 films.
Yeah, I'd agree
For sure.
with that.
And Django Fett says that he liked the Canto Bite theme. I'm assuming he's talking about the music, because I mean the music, all the music is John Williams. Like that's never going to be bad. Like the movie itself could be worse than Howard the Duck, but the music will still be good.
I mean, John Williams.
I wouldn't lose your head over at Django Fett. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Wow. That took me a second.
I like it.
Son of a bitch.
I like it.
I need
I
need a rim shot sound cue here somewhere.
Come on, play him off, keyboard cat.
God.
So, other than the Kenobi stuff, has there been any other news regarding the next season of The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett or
nothing that I've really heard?
Any of this new stuff?
I think the biggest Star Wars news this week was that Star Wars Celebration got moved to May instead of
gosh,
August
right,
or something.
I forgot to tell you guys about my birthday party that's happening next year. That's actually my they threw a party for that's my birthday party. It's happening. May 25th is going to kick off my birthday, and everyone is invited.
The good news is it's in Anaheim.
Yeah, it is in Anaheim.
Yeah.
So for everyone except for Richard, it's going to be a short drive.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? The great thing is though is all my family is in SoCal, and it's only like an 8-9 hour drive for me. I know I'm going down there when Avengers Campus opens at Disneyland. I will be right there when that happens. So,
I made that drive 2 weeks ago, and it's long.
Yeah.
There's just so much nothing between like San Francisco and here.
Yeah. Well, I'm also the same guy who, when I moved from Boston to LA after I finished college, I drove it with my wife and her mom. I think it took us 6 days to get from Boston to LA. Like, we booked it.
So you really wanted to see the sights, right?
I mean, we saw the sights and did it, freaking fast. I mean, we did Syracuse to Chicago going through Canada in a day.
I did.
You weren't at like light speed. You were at ludicrous speed.
All right, you just became my new best friend.
I was beyond that. When I moved out here, I came from New Orleans.
Yeah.
And it took me from New Orleans to Vegas. I did in just under 3 days.
Nice. Oh yeah, but yeah, Spaceballs is definitely my favorite piece of Star Wars content.
Right. Spaceballs is great. Like
Shane
that.
Nodded.
Oh God.
That's how you know you're on the right track.
Right.
One of my favorite scenes from Spaceballs is when the guy, the silver guy, looks like the gangster is eating Pizza the Hut.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like
as Vinny.
Yeah, it's Vinny. Like, I loved Jabba the Hutt as a kid, so the first time when I saw that, I was like,
Pizza the Hut.
Yeah, I was like, it was so funny to me because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense, and this is so great, and I love pizza. I just want to eat him too.
Can we pause? You loved Jabba the Hutt as a kid? That's the character you glommed onto?
I love
Jabba.
He was so cool.
All right. Okay.
I mean, who doesn't like a slug as a boy and you see he's all slimy and he's like eating stuff? Like, I don't know. I ate dirt as a kid. What are you going to say?
I think what was really great about Pizza the Hut for me, though, was that I'm pretty sure Dom DeLuise was actually inside the costume.
Yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
He had to have been.
Yeah. The one I was just thinking of was, that's not a spaceship. It's a transformer.
Oh, my God.
So much good stuff.
The best performers in there. What's his name? Who does all the noises? He's like,
yeah. We've lost the bleeps. We've lost the creeps, and we've lost the sweeps.
What? The bleeps?
The episode is up. again, for some reason, I don't have an episode title or a description. It just says episode 3, the Bad Batch must find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy yet again.
That's what I got. That's what
Me
I
too.
got.
Just refreshed it, and yeah. But it's 28 minutes, so.
And I
So
have
it's
to
even
say
shorter.
because Django Fett said, "Why you gotta do me like that? Just gotta stay ahead of the game, dog. You just gotta stay ahead of the game."
How many puns do you have for that specifically?
This is just a 28-minute episode, so we'll see.
Nice.
Oh God.
All right. Well, does everyone in the audience watching, Donnie, Django, all of you guys out there, do you have it on your Disney Plus? Do you have it queued up? Let us know when you guys are ready to go, and we will start the countdown and start the episode.
Yeah, man, I gotta watch Spaceballs again. It's been way too long.
So I was thinking about this in all of the 30 seconds that's been since we brought up Spaceballs. If it's on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. If it's on Amazon Prime, that means that we can do a Twitch watch along.
Oh, I'm so down. And also, you know what needs to happen? I don't know how many people would be down for it. Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. That needs to happen someday.
Well, no, it's Spaceballs 3, the search for Spaceballs 2.
That's good. I like that one better. But yeah, we need to get
all eat yogurt.
Yeah,
yogurt. I hate yogurt, even with strawberries. Gregory
Cholakian, I believe, is your last name. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He's asking if we're going to be showing the episode on the stream. We are not. Unfortunately, if we were to do that, we run the risk of getting a DMCA takedown and having our channel turned off. And I would rather that not happen.
And we like pirates like Hondo Wanaka, but we're not real pirates.
Also, this is the best image that we've had on this screen right now. You know, Pizza the Hut right here.
Pizza, there he is, because pizza's gonna come after you,
or else pizza is gonna send out for you.
That's amazing.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly think we should do an episode. If that's the case, we all have to dress like our favorite character.
Yes. Oh my God, I'd be so down.
Bernie, you guys know Bernie. The Geek Gatsby. You guys know who he is, right? Bernie Bregman. He goes by the Geek Gatsby. Yeah. He has a dark helmet costume.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
He was actually in when I think it was the 30th anniversary of Spaceballs released a couple of years ago. He was in the commercial for it. Like they had him driving around like the line on a golf cart dressed up as Dark Helmet. It was really good.
One of the coolest things I've ever done when I still lived in LA was I went to a live watch along of Blazing Saddles with Mel Brooks.
Oh, wow.
He did a Q&A in the end, and Carl Reiner was in the audience. Daryl Hannah was in the audience. Wow. It was like, that was one of the coolest moments of my life, seeing him live in person.
Those kind of things are like the best part about being here.
Yeah.
Did he have Mel Brooks, the t-shirt?
That would have been amazing.
Just a t-shirt of Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
right.
Mel Brooks, the t-shirt.
Spaceballs the lunchbox. Spaceballs the flamethrower.
A buddy of mine at the day job has Spaceballs the face mask.
Nice. I can't wait till this mask thing is over, but I would totally rock Spaceballs the face mask.
Yeah, like that's got to be my collection. All right,
seriously.
So it looks like everyone is good to go.
Hopefully everyone has their gas.
We are ready. Are all of you guys ready?
I'm just refreshing it one more time to see if we got an episode title. We do not, and I'm just about ready when you guys are.
All right.
Hey guys, do we think that tells a lot if it doesn't have a title?
I don't think so, because like for episodes 1 and 2, I didn't have a title either when we started, even though they did. So it's probably just like
the WandaVision episodes usually didn't have a title when we started either.
Yeah, until usually the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see though. All right. In 3, 2, 1, play.
All right.
I'm still loving all these little intros.
Reading around here.
Yeah. No, this intro is pretty solid.
I love that we have Chopper in it.
And General Grievous.
Mm-hmm.
The Grievous one is cool.
The Grieve. Replace. Okay. You know, the Greaves. It's like
Greaves.
Degenerates, but the Greaves.
Replacements.
Doesn't seem like their ship's doing great.
Nah.
That does not look appetizing.
No.
It looks like a piece of dynamite.
It looks like a roll of Necco
trying
wafers.
to ration with that guy.
I think he was supposed to unwrap it.
It's like a tamale.
Okay.
You know, the ship is.
How did it break this quickly?
Right?
It's that
It got really hard when they fled to Luca Mine.
Sure.
Could also just find Rex since he knows how to get rid of it.
Yeah. All systems are totally fine. Wow. He has a problem.
It's like a ride at Disney World.
I was just going to say, it looks like Star Tours.
Hands up.
Yeah. Last time I was on there, I was the one on the camera who was
the spy.
The spy, yeah, the rebel
You
spy.
were the rebel spy.
Yeah, and I was just looking at it like
The poor trash can droid.
right.
That's the most hilarious
He's been lifted
design.
like a weight, now thrown off to the side.
Right? I feel like it's such a waste that the trash cans at the Galaxy's Edge are not droids.
We're gonna be fun.
Noted.
Yeet.
Nope. You're not out of the gift shop yet.
Wow, you're not.
She didn't put her headpiece back on.
Oh yeah. Of course they do.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Oh.
They're not picking up on this inhibitor chip thing.
No.
Back to Camino.
We're coming home, boys.
It kind of reminds me of like old.
That was a good one, Richard.
Thank you. Wow. Go away, fat man.
Someone woke up on the wrong side of the MRI.
This guy's a kiss ass.
He's the guy from the hologram last episode.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right. Okay.
This might be the start of the Death Troopers. So, do we think this is gonna be kids?
Ooh, is this Inferno Squad?
Elite Squad. Okay.
Is this what, Rob?
Maybe Inferno Squad.
Mm.
She looked like she was worried about her wallet.
She has a reason to be.
Yeah, clones are expensive.
Yeah, that's the whole point of why they were made.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Okay, what was that crawling?
It's what always happens when you land somewhere weird in Star Wars.
It's true.
You're
You're
either surrounded by monsters, inside a monster, or yeah.
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 I'm just gonna guess that that's inside the monster.
Yeah, with a bunch of little monsters crawling.
I don't know.
It
It looks like there's sky
those,
there.
Yeah.
Those things look like ulcers. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be something.
Echo, I feel like you should have told someone what you're doing right now.
Right.
I want a mask that looks like that.
Yeah.
Like the razor mask is probably the closest. I don't think that's actually being released.
Yeah, no shit.
Did no one notice something just... Uh-oh.
Oh boy. What in the...
He wants to play fetch.
She was trying that on like 2020.
Is she gonna start talking like Bane now?
I hope so.
Okay, what the hell was that?
Puppy.
Puppy.
Those look like stars.
That's not Snowflake. That's not Snowflake.
You're bad at sharing relevant information when it's needed.
You're not wrong.
Something you could have brought to my attention yesterday.
Uh-oh. Do you think Wrecker's chip is going to be kicking in?
Maybe that's what's going on with his head. Yeah, maybe that's what's really going on with his head.
I think that's the side that usually happens.
Huh. On his left?
Yeah. Yeah.
On his right, yeah.
On his right, okay. Huh.
They're also cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can just steal people instead of make them.
Yep. Onderon.
Whoa.
Well, Saw probably doesn't die.
I would assume so, since this is before Rogue One, right?
And Rebels, yeah. Shouldn't they give her like armor or something? She's basically wearing a t-shirt.
She's like completely unprotected.
She'll be
Now she
fine.
gets to learn how to play with dirt.
So the shirt is made out of mithril.
Mithril. Yes, mithril.
Yeah.
Yo, I really love that they're showing how they're breathing in those masks, though.
Yeah.
That is gorgeous looking off of.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how my glasses look when I wear a mask with them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I want to get like either the Razor mask or the Will I Am's super mask, because they're made to not fog up glasses, but they're also like $200-300.
I'll say I'm not spending that much on a mask. Sorry.
Yeah.
We should all just wear helmets like Jango Fett.
That I wouldn't be against.
Why is this guy trying to pick a fight with everyone?
Maybe he's just an asshole.
I feel like Crosshair's gonna murder him.
Surrounded by assholes.
I was say, how many assholes we got on the ship anyhow?
Yo.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
And I'll tell you what, though, seeing all this armor, I downloaded or preloaded the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the remaster of it, and just like seeing all this armor, like now I really can't wait to play that game.
Nice.
I didn't expect to see these guys again so soon.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that was only like the first episode, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh.
Smoke.
That's not good.
Kick it.
Yeah, Star Wars people really don't put their legs to good use.
No, they're always crouching.
They always skip leg day.
Yeah, exactly.
Star Wars as an entire franchise skips leg day.
I'm curious how we're gonna do the Clone Wars are the stormtroopers are crap shots when Crosshair is literally a sniper. So is he just always gonna hit his target and be the only one?
Well,
Yeah, right.
They'll probably all hit the door frames first with their heads.
Oh God, with the paws first.
Uh-oh, he's not going to be able to breathe.
I think this thing just wants to play.
He's breathing, so he's not dead.
Use your magic powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Omega. Let's go, Omega.
Go all How to Train Your Dragon with it.
Yeah, go. You can do it.
I don't know if she's doing that.
Leave Hunter behind. You'll defeat it. You can do it, child. You just got out of Camino, joined a group of guys, and now you're going to defeat a lizard down a hole.
You're doing great.
With a flashlight and a blaster.
Man, she really should have gone with Cut.
Did we ask for nutshelling?
His is much better than yours, Richard.
Fine. Can't argue there.
Yours is
That was a cool shot.
Ooh,
Whoa.
a flamethrower. That's cool.
Spaceball's the flamethrower.
Yes, Spaceball's the flamethrower.
The kids love this one.
This is Star Wars, the flamethrower.
Yeah, Star Wars flamethrower.
Wow.
Oh, there it is again.
Whoa. Whoa.
So I wonder if these are Death Troopers because they can actually hit their target.
Oh, he got good.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh.
shit.
Whoa.
Yeah, those might be Death Troopers. That was a good shot.
This is like civilians. It's gonna be bad.
This isn't going to be good.
Where's Saw?
Oh, well, you're dead now. Oh, that's shot.
Dang.
Dude, really? Wow. Is that what they always say before or after they kill somebody like that in any movie ever?
Yep.
Shoot him.
That sounds like Crosshair.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like Crosshair, right?
He's
Who?
gonna shoot him. He's dead.
Yeah.
This one.
Yep. This is that guy who thought he was in charge.
He's gonna get shot.
Yep, he's done. He's totally done.
The other one's moved.
Yep.
This one.
Why didn't they turn around and shoot him?
Any more questions?
That was close.
Wow.
Oh, now we're
With a
spelunking again.
flamethrower?
Yeah, you should have flamed him.
That's messed up.
I think it's Death Troopers. I think that is the start of Death Troopers.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's barbecue.
Yes.
Wow.
Whoa.
Dude.
That's the start of the best BBQ in town.
That was
That's messed
dark.
up.
I dig it.
I really want to open up a pop-up at Celebration that's just like a bar, like get like JR's barbecue or Bloodso's or something, and get them to rebrand just for the weekend as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's.
Dude. Wow.
Great.
That's amazing.
Whoa.
Are you only gonna sell boneless or bone
Bone in.
The bones that make them crunchy.
Mm.
Wow. You know what they got to explain to us, like what the difference is between Star Wars planets where you have to use the mask on it and where you don't? Because it seems like most of them you don't have to wear a mask or anything.
Yeah, but this one's like uninhabited except for the weird dragon thing.
Fair enough, yeah. Would you shut up?
Doesn't like the light.
Yeah, come on, Richard. Be sensitive.
Fine.
So sensitive, Omega.
Nom, 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 nom.
That's right. It just wants to play.
It's Omega's new dog.
Yeah, it's a space puppy.
Space puppy.
Whoa.
Can I keep him, Hunter? Can I keep him?
No.
My roommate's cat used to do that kind of shit. I don't know how that thing.
He used to turn green.
Still-
He would glow?
I was saying he would
Yeah,
glow with the
He would
dark.
glow, like he would chew through wires while
Yeah.
things were plugged in.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Like I don't know how it survived.
You didn't track it. You saw it as it was going.
I mean, that's tracking it
Yeah.
in a loose sense.
Loose sense of the word, yeah.
Like, I did everything you were supposed to do, but I didn't kill it.
I
It's just
actually
covered in
didn't do a
slobber.
Damn thing. I just walked in and played with it.
And now we're going to go jump on that giant spaceship. Want to come? Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
He did literally nothing and got a promotion.
Wow.
Typical white guy.
Hmm. Are they going to do Crosshair? Wow.
Ooh, did they give her armor?
Or a bed.
Yeah, have a bed.
I was say a bed would be a little more important right now.
Probably just a box.
Box.
Is it a little room?
I,
It's like Harry Potter. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Harry Potter of the ship.
They went Harry Potter with it.
They went Harry Potter with it. You got your own room.
Aw,
Aw.
Wrecker gave her his teddy.
Aw.
That's nice.
That's better than I was expecting.
I love Wrecker.
Aw. That's cute.
Aw. Aw.
Oh, stop it. This is cute.
Yeah, this is pretty cute. Wow.
That was a nice little sweet ending.
I know. How many of those we're going to get?
I think this will probably be the last.
Yeah, probably for a while.
I can't believe we just were like, oh, that's so sweet. After watching a bunch of civilians get flamethrowers.
Right?
Right in the same episode.
Well, yeah, because
Flame broiled civilians.
well, they were savory. So we
Wow.
get the sweet and the savory. You know, it
Savory.
balances it.
Wow.
balances it out.
Sweet and
And
savory.
we
Oh
got
my
savory, satisfying, and sweet.
god. Wow.
So it looks like we still don't. At least I don't have a title for this episode. Still
Me
showing
neither.
up on mine.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just refreshed it.
The BBQ of the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch queue.
So what did you guys think? What stood out to you? Was there anything that you particularly liked or didn't like?
I really like that
Easter
we
eggs
went
and so on.
back. I really like that we went back and saw Crosshair.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that as soon as we got it. So I liked that. Because it was like it had a really nice parallel of kind of just the Omega Bad Batch thing of, oh, something went wrong, we have to fix it. Omega's still proving that she belongs here, versus Crosshair just straight up murdering people.
Right.
Yeah, it seems like this episode was I mean, obviously it was more character development, but it just furthered everyone splitting further and further away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For Crosshair, it felt like they're doing what they can to push him away from being able to be redeemed.
I mean, it's interesting because it definitely feels like they're showing it as like the worst possible option that he can do, but you always still have like even Omega points out in the episode, it's not really him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But once they figure out how to turn off the chip, how much of that will be him? Like, will he all of a sudden just go, oh, no, this stuff is wrong, I'm going to stop doing this? Or will it now just be ingrained in him? He's been doing it for so long, like, now that's who he is.
Well, for Rex, and it was not nearly as long, obviously, but for Rex, he went from almost killing Ahsoka, who is like very close friend of his, to the second she removed it, he was back to normal.
Yeah, he went back really fast, like immediately, right?
Yeah, and there's two other.
He didn't have it that long though.
Right. Well, there's two other clones that we know get it removed because of Rebels, Gregor and Wolf. We don't know how long they have the chips in. That's not actually just like disclosed.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll just depend. I think this is a really good place to explore that, how the chip affects you in a more long-term capacity. Is it something where it sort of gets ingrained into your mind, or is it something where you just have to live with the guilt of everything you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested in seeing how that turns out, though. In the chat, we have JNR Films, who is asking, was it just me, or was anyone else rooting for Crosshair to dominate against the elite group?
Yeah, I liked that he was clearly the leader and that he's going to be kind of training them. I really am liking this whole showing the Empire taking over thing, and I'm liking that we're seeing how the clones get phased out, because we always knew they did. We just didn't know the mechanics of it.
Yep.
And I like that it's not just, oh, cool, we're going to use them until we train people. It's, oh, the clones train their replacements. Okay.
Yeah, I like that they're showing us the details of that. Like we're really, I think in this case, we're actually getting a lot of what we were hoping for, like filling in this gap between like, the end of episode 3 and end of Clone Wars, obviously, and then Rebels and Rogue One and episode 4 and everything.
That's what the cartoons do so well, is fill in gaps of everything that they've talked in the live action ones for years. They've talked about them, and it's lovely to actually get to see them in more of story plot lines.
We do have a title for this episode. Django Fett and Donnie Pearson have let us know that's called Replacements.
Oh,
it did say that at the beginning of the episode.
It did, yeah. Doy. We should remember that.
Didn't even see that. So how do you guys see that name tying into what we saw in the story?
Well, obviously they're going with the new kind of. They're trying to figure out a new clone army, basically, like going from clone troopers to stormtroopers and everything, trying to figure out who they can take a new sample out of to make more clones. So that's probably, I think, where it ties in the most, at least from how I saw it.
You also have the replacements for Crosshair's team instead of the Bad Batch.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
You have Omega as a replacement in the Bad Batch.
For Crosshair, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's threefold. Did you guys like the Crosshair stuff more, or the like Bad Batch stuff more in this episode?
Crosshair stuff was more entertaining to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was close for me, but I think Crosshair a little bit by a hair.
I think it was
by a Crosshair.
Oh,
wow! All right, all right.
For me, it was pretty even.
I'm frozen on my screen. I'm so frozen on my screen.
No, we can see you moving.
Yeah, you're good.
For me, I don't think either side was necessarily better than, like, either the A plot or the B plot was necessarily better than the other. I think they did a pretty good job of showing us where Crosshair was going, and like setting up his journey for the rest of the season, and what his, I guess, mission is going to be, and where we got that last episode with the Bad Batch with the rest of the team. So this was kind of continuing them and seeing them and Omega kind of grow and bond and everything like that. Whereas now we get to see where Crosshair and like his trajectory.
Yeah.
I like the political aspect of this too, how we're seeing the inner machinations of what's happening with the Empire. I hope we start to see a little bit more of that with the Rebels as well, with how all that's being pieced together. Because like that's, even though in like episode 2 of like the Clone Wars, not the TV series, but the movie,
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Yeah.
Even though the political aspect of that was a little heavy-handed, I liked seeing that kind of stuff, and I feel like at least as of right now, the show is doing a good job of balancing the action and the story with that kind of political intrigue type stuff.
Yeah. One
Clone
of the good
Wars,
parts of episode 2.
Yeah, and Clone Wars did that a lot. The show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference too when you get like these long form TV shows as opposed to a big movie. Like we're seeing it on the Marvel side too, as well as Star Wars. Like you get so much more time to go into the details of that, even though you're telling a longer story. But with that, you get to see a lot more of the intricate details of what actually happens in the story.
I will say it feels like the Star Wars stuff versus the Marvel stuff, that the Star Wars stuff ends up being a little more like largely relevant.
Yeah, I don't completely disagree.
Because like, don't get me wrong, the Marvel stuff is really cool and awesome, but it feels a little more like setup. Whereas the Star Wars stuff, it stands alone really well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely by design.
Yeah,
like you can tell that everything that's happening within the Marvel shows are is setting you up for what the next movies are.
Right.
Where the Star Wars shows seem like they exist in their own world, while they're canon and everything that happens in them happens. What happens in them doesn't necessarily affect what's going to be happening in the movies or the other live action TV shows.
Yeah, and I think
for sure.
it's because they are canon, they are connected, but they're not like, it's not like Clone Wars led directly into another movie. It was more of, it's making the prequels make more sense, you know? So I think that aspect of it, I tend to like the Star Wars stuff a little bit more as like a full-fledged show. I like both a lot, don't get me wrong. But like with this, there's all this stuff that we're like, oh man, we want to know what happened with the Empire. We want to know like how this became what it is by like the time episode 4 rolls around, or like just Rogue One and Solo. And we're really getting that, and we're only in episode 3.
Yeah.
These are the sprinkles in the cupcake. And I like pancakes.
Like on the Marvel side of things, these shows would be like the equivalent of us getting, I don't know, like a series about who the Ancient One was.
Yeah.
Or like it'll sort of be like that when we get Black Widow. I mean, because we know that's happening between Civil War and Infinity War. So
yeah.
So I'm really curious
but
to see how they go that route.
That's a movie though.
Right.
Fair point. Yeah, because I don't know actually really if any of these Disney Plus shows are going to be prequels really at all.
I mean,
I don't know, because from what Feige said, you're not going to need to have seen the shows to understand what's happening in the movies.
Right.
But they will help, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit on one of the It's All Connected episodes, and I think it was Bryce that brought it up, that Falcon and Winter Soldier is awesome, but to watch Captain America 4, it's already like Sam gets handed the shield at the end of Endgame.
Right.
You didn't need the Falcon and Winter Soldier to understand it. It just helps you understand Sam's character. Whereas with this, like, the Empire rises to power. You don't really see how. So this is really just filling in a huge blank. Whereas that was like Falcon Winter Soldier side of it is more of like the emotional journey to get there. This is actual
it's extra.
Yeah, and this feels like the meat of something that Star Wars fans have wanted to know for literally like 40 years.
Yeah. Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of felt like an epilogue. Like it was like, okay, here's what happened after Endgame with these characters.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Whereas going in and watching Captain America 4, you're not necessarily going to have to know it. I feel like it'll almost be like, I think it was the Winter Soldier, where it picked up and they were all like a team already, and they were they were on the mission on the boat where they ran into Bartrock.
Batroc,
or whatever.
Batroc,
yeah. So like with that, it's like, okay, they've been running missions for the past couple of years and they're already, a fully formed team. So with this, it's kind of just filling all of that out.
Yeah, it feels like the next chapter in the saga. And Shay makes a really good point. He says that the MCU is still in its infancy compared to the legacy of Star Wars history. Completely true.
Fair
completely
point. Yeah.
Valid.
Star Wars has 30 years on Marvel.
Yeah, I'm just saying, even like with the TV shows alone, which are not that old, like they're still a lot older than the Marvel stuff, just not 30 years. But that alone, to me, like Clone Wars is just a really good example of it. It feels way more kind of definitely connected to the prequels and everything, but it feels a little bit more self-contained to a degree.
Although, thinking about it, Marvel though has 23 movies now. Star Wars has 13, if you include the holiday special and the Ewok movies.
You always include the holiday special.
So even though Star Wars is older, I think the Marvel stuff is probably in about the same ballpark with the amount of content that there is.
Well, and the thing I'm thinking about too is we've seen the Disney Plus shows and everything, but we haven't seen how the new movies are gonna, interconnect with them yet, because we haven't gotten any of the movies yet. So that's really what I'm most curious to see. I mean, like WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier were awesome, and I know that we know that they're setting up at least Captain America 4, if not more. But I'm curious to see, like, as the movies and the TV shows start premiering, one right after the other and everything, how exactly they kind of interweave into a coherent story going forward.
Yeah.
And then the Bad Batch fight the Avengers.
Yes, clearly.
Sold. I'm sold.
Well, jumping back into Star Wars, I think what I'm hoping for a little bit with this show, because we're getting all the Empire stuff, which I'm really liking, and we're getting the character stuff with the Bad Batch, which I'm really enjoying. I'm hoping we're going to get some setup for the live action stuff that's coming, because we know Fennec's going to be in here. We're all wanting like Cad Bane. We're wanting Hondo. Boba Fett would be awesome. I mean, we're kind of expecting Ahsoka because it's a Dave Filoni project.
Well, so with Ahsoka, do you think they would bring back Rosario Dawson to do the voice, or would they go with a different voice actor?
I think they're gonna go with Ashley.
If it's cartoon, it'll be Ashley Eckstein, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, she did a great job in Clone Wars, at least, and I'm excited to see her in the rest of it.
I mean, that's honestly, if she would have fit the demographic in live action, it would have been her regardless.
100%.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that is, I guess, was the good thing about Katie Sackhoff, is that she fit.
She fit the mold. She fit everything about it.
It'd be cool if they could find kind of a like cameo role or something for Ashley, though.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like seeing that in one of the live action things.
It's like a patron at a bar, or just like somewhere so you can see your face and be like, oh, I know who that is.
I'd love it if it were something to where like she dropped her lightsaber and somebody like picked it up and handed it to her.
That'd be perfect.
That'd be like, awesome. Hey.
Well, it would have to be with her and Ahsoka. Like that's what it has to be.
What I mean. That's what I mean. Sure. It's like just some character that's like in a spot where it just gets dropped or something, and she's like, hey, this is yours, right?
Yep, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be pretty cool.
So what do you guys think the Kaminoans are planning? Because we know that they're not happy with the way things are playing out, and they're going to try and show that the clones are needed, not the conscripted officers.
I don't know why, but it felt like when we went back to Kamino, I felt like it was like the old Justice League, where it was like watching Aquaman back at the Justice League making, sandwiches for everybody. Where it was like, and back on Kamino, let's find out what happens next.
Oh my God.
I feel like it's a very interesting story plot, and I think I always thought the Kaminoans were really cool looking.
Yeah.
And they were always kind of neat, kind of allure, because we never really know anything about them other than that they made clones. I think this will be interesting to see the, are they now a bad guy? They're always kind of neutral.
Yeah, it seems like they might be leaning toward the bad guy route, actually, with all the Empire stuff.
But are they a bad guy to the rebels, or are they a bad guy to the Empire?
Exactly. So
Right.
at what point do they switch? Maybe they go and help the rebels at this point because they're losing their business, and then they're going to get taken over by the Empire. Basically, then there's no need for them.
They pull a Palpatine. They try to stack the board. I'm curious. I was just gonna say I'm curious because they said they were calling specific clones. So why?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it earlier clones that have the closest DNA or something? Like, and what's up with Omega?
What is up with Omega?
Is if the clones end up like on Camino get really crazy with like they're about ready to get taken over, because eventually we know that there's no clones left being made. If that factor of all these clones on Camino, if we saw the Empire basically trying to take out the clones, and then we have an epic clone Empire battle on Camino, would be
ooh, that could be cool.
That'd be awesome. We know that they get phased out because Rex in Rebels says the Empire says that clone troopers are like have outlived their usefulness or something. So if we actually saw, like, I'm curious what that's going to mean with the inhibitor chips, because it is good soldiers follow orders. So if the orders essentially stand down, what does that mean?
Yeah, what do they do then?
Yeah, so do they just like wipe out the Kaminoans, and then the Kaminoans try a heroic battle where we know they're just going to die? Still be kind of unique.
That would be.
I don't know.
I'm also just really curious about Camino. Do they usually live like under the water, or they're just a bunch of these random like cities that are like above the water?
I just
maybe they fucked up their planet.
I just hope they learn how to like kneeboard and ski like during the time periods of like trying to figure out how to create all these clones, like
paddleboard.
Yeah.
So JD Lint 324 in the chat about Ashley Eckstein. He suggests maybe Sabine.
Nah.
Sabine's not white.
Hardcore pass.
And he also says that maybe the Kaminoans are looking for Boba Fett.
That's interesting. The only reason I would be a little like, I definitely think they would be looking for him, but they specifically said that they're like the clones are their property. I think Boba Fett was like a payment.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was he was a payment to Jango Fett, and because Jango Fett all he wanted was
one unaltered clone.
He just wanted a son.
Yeah.
He wanted a son.
Just wanted to be a dad.
I think maybe.
I don't think it was that.
Not like.
Well, yeah, I know.
Sorry, continue, Rob.
Oh no, I don't think it's Boba Fett at all, to be honest.
No.
I wouldn't be shocked if they maybe like if they happened upon him would use him, but I don't see like Boba Fett's pretty well like he's got bounty hunters that have his back at this point. I don't see the Kaminoans. Yeah, I don't see the Kaminoans being like, let's go find this one specific clone that does not look identical to all the other ones because he doesn't have the rapid aging yet.
Right.
Maybe they're going to go and look and try and track down the Bad Batch.
Maybe. I don't know how they would make them
I wouldn't be mad if they hired them out.
The clones?
Yeah, if they hired out some bounty hunters and it happened to be Boba Fett to go to go chase them down.
I feel like there are going to be bounty hunters after them because we know Fennec's in here. We know she's like a bounty hunter and assassin, and based on one of the trailers, she was fighting against Hunter. So that to me says she's
after them.
Yeah, she's not a friend. So
no.
I'm hoping,
or at least not at first.
Yeah, so I'm hoping we're gonna get like a bunch of bounty hunters, and that's how we get Boba and Cad Bane and stuff.
And then obviously we've got Fennec and Boba coming up in Book of Boba Fett. So
right.
And Aura Singh, I love some Aura Singh and some Bosk.
Yeah.
Maybe even throw in some Zuckuss and some Forlom.
IG-88.
IG-88. Let's go with the old school ones. Let's go see some Dengar action. I want to see some,
Yeah, I definitely would like to see the Bad Batch going up against like a bunch of the really, really good bounty hunters because we haven't seen them really fight anyone but droids and other clones.
Yeah.
Thinking about Boba Fett though, Boba Fett at this point, he'd be in his teens, right?
Yeah, but he's a bounty hunter. In Clone Wars, he was full bounty hunter by the end of it.
Yeah,
he would be like a teenager at this point.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like late teens or so, probably.
Yeah, because in when Django died, he was like maybe 10.
Yeah.
I'd say
Maybe.
about 9, 10-ish, yeah.
Yeah, and the Clone Wars were 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so 13, 14,
so mid to late teens.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested in anyone in the chat there what you guys think, who you think they might be going after, or where Fennec might show up, or who else you think we might be seeing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to see Thrawn.
What else about this episode stood out to you guys? Like, was there anything specific that you wanted to talk about?
Personally, I love the ending. Just real quick. The ending was amazing. You know, Wrecker and Omega, you know, giving her own room and stuff. All that great with the bear and everything. I mean, like, Wrecker continues to be my favorite part of this show. And I mean, like, for different reasons every week. I mean, he's the entertaining one. He's just, I mean, he lives up to his name. He's the wrecking ball of the crew. But no, he's got a nice soft side to him tim, too. And I like seeing that.
He's kind.
Yes,
yeah, he's
very much so.
Kind, and it's a unique thing about, you know, we were talking about before was who's, you know, who Omega's gonna be, who's she gonna attach herself to. We got a little bit of that with Hunter and a little bit of that with Wrecker, so it's like y'all are trying to go play this back and forth thing on these two. I think they're all gonna learn a little bit about each, but there really hasn't been a whole lot of interaction with Omega and the other two, you know, or
Checker Echo, with Checo.
Most of them was when they were on the ship in the last episode.
Yeah, and for as smart as Tech is, he's not very savvy with some stuff recently.
It seems like he has the I can relate to this because I also have the same issue. He wants to do everything himself. Like he feels like I figured this out. I'm the one that knows how to do it.
He doesn't play well with others.
If I try and bring other people in, it's going to be a pain in the ass, so I might as well just do it on my own. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about this because I was dealing with it.
Right, because he's the smartest anyways, so he's like, I'll just do it and then I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't necessarily think I'm smarter than everyone else. I think I'm smarter than a lot of people, but you know, that's just Twitter. But
just Twitter.
But personally, I do have the habit of, you know, like, oh, this is a thing that I need to deal with. I could ask someone for help, but then I need to explain it all to them. So I'm just going to do it. And then someone's going to be like, hey, did you know this was an issue? Yeah, but I'm dealing with it. That just kind of happens.
Lit 324 said, I only think Boba because they talked about Jango's sample degrading and Boba is unaltered. Very good point.
No, I definitely think he would be helpful. The only reason that I don't necessarily think he's the one they were specifically talking about is because he's not technically Kaminoan property anymore. But I also think he would be a good, like, target for them.
Oh, he's a useful target for sure.
I don't remember Tech being this kind of, like, not prickly, but just, like, unwilling to share information during the Bad Batch arc.
Not
secretive.
He was very quick to help everyone.
Yeah.
Sure.
JR Films actually just said something that I was going to bring up after we finish this conversation here. He says, I'm pretty sure they're going to go after Omega. She probably has a chip or something special to cloners and put it in her, making her the asset. I agree. I think she is going to get separated from them at some point, either taken or kidnapped, or somehow separated from them, and they're going to spend at least an episode or 2 or 3 trying to track her down and get her back.
That's the season finale. Calling it season finale.
Last 2-3 episodes.
That's the final arc.
Yeah.
I'd say the last 2-3 episodes. Yeah.
Do you think she's a Jango clone, or do you think she's a different clone?
I'm leaning towards somebody different, but I don't know who.
I think she might be original. Like maybe they like built her from scratch.
Yeah, definitely. I could see that.
Yeah. Oh, Jango Fett said, imagine they go after Rex like how in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom they go after Blue for the Indoraptor's DNA.
Man, I thought great heads think alike, but not in this case.
Wow. I don't know that they I'm sure they know technically that Rex is not being affected by the chip, but I don't know how else they would track him. Also, are the chips trackable?
I would think so, but that's a good question.
Yeah, like you would assume that is a thing, but considering they haven't descended on the Bad Batch,
right?
Maybe not.
Right, they haven't immediately descended on them after episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the tech guy in me wants to say, yeah, obviously they would have to be trackable. Why wouldn't they make them that way? But the person who's watching the show is like, okay, either they're damaged and they can't track them anymore, or they don't have that capability.
Your logic brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't remember Tech being this secretive about information in his arc on the Clone Wars. I felt like he was way more helpful. And
do you think he's purposely being secretive, or if it's just he's not even thinking about telling them that he has this information that they need?
Do you think he's maybe still hurt by the crosshair stuff, so he's maybe a little more reluctant? I mean, just a wild guess, but
maybe he's worried that the others. I mean, because he does seem worried that the others are still possibly affected.
Yeah, after what happened to Crosshair.
I could see that because I was gonna say I'm getting a little I'm liking the show a lot. I am getting a little bit tired of Tech being like, "Well, I figured this out. Did you not realize this?" And you're like, "Dude."
Yeah. You can be smart about it without being a dick about it.
Can you?
Well, it's not even that. Yeah. It's you have relevant information for your team to not die.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's talk about the food they ate in the first part of it. What do we think that?
What was that?
That's just a ration bar.
It looked like a roll of Necco wafers, which are disgusting.
Right?
Those are the absolute worst Halloween candy ever.
Oh man. That's what it was. They totally stole Halloween candy off of Camino before they left.
Space Halloween candy.
Yeah, this is Halloween candy. We'll live off of it.
I'm going to assume it was some sort of a protein bar. Maybe the shit that they were eating on Snowpiercer that was made up the bugs and everything that were just compressed into that weird soap looking thing.
Yeah. Ooh. I'll say this as the resident food expert in the group. I have no idea what it was.
Well, if you were going
Thanks,
to make
Richard.
it,
that was helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
If you were going to recreate that thing to serve, what would it be?
Oof. I'd probably go Mexican with it because it kind of looked like maybe, I don't know, some kind of tortilla kind of thing from the outside.
Looks
but
like a tortilla.
Yeah, some kind of wrap. That'd be my best bet. But
I just want to say it's got ice cream on the inside roll that anticipated really quickly.
I could go for some ice cream in the middle of that.
You can't really tell if Wrecker's face was brain froze because he's got that thing going across it. So he was just
right.
Wrecker for me
fast.
Yeah, Wrecker for me there felt like a mouse in the Matrix, where they're eating the protein slop stuff, and he's like,
yes.
You guys ever have tasty wheat?
Yes, yes. Not like these.
God.
Oh my God.
We got Raya XP in the chat says, I think it's referring back to what we were talking about with Echo and Tech and all those guys. He says, I think it's just their personality quirks. Wrecker is dumb and needs everything explained. Tech is brilliant but has no common sense to let everyone know because he just assumes it was obvious.
I don't agree with Wrecker's dumb. It's kind of goes back to Drax being dumb in
Guardians. Yeah,
Guardians. He's invisible because he's
nothing goes over my head. I am too fast.
Reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
That kind of thing. I think Wrecker's actually pretty endearing. He took time to make a bedroom for Omega.
Also, I'm now petitioning for Dave Bautista to play Wrecker in a live-action Star Wars.
Oh man,
that'd be awesome. No, I think
how great would that be?
I think Wrecker lacks inhibition. I wouldn't say he's dumb because his immediate response to Omega offering the food is yes, and then when Hunter's like, "Dude, she needs to eat," Wrecker's like, "Oh, of course she does." It wasn't
like a self-control.
self-control, filter, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw that in the Clone Wars arc too. That like Anakin was like, okay, this is a stealth mission, and the second the elevator door opens, Wrecker's just decimating
barreling
all the
out of
droids.
there.
So was it a Leroy Jenkins?
Leroy Jenkins!
Oh man.
But no, I get what you're saying, and I think that is kind of going to be the answer. I'm hoping it's a little bit more of like this distrust is maybe like due to the crosshair stuff and due to the concern about the chips. And the only reason I want there to be a deeper meaning is we didn't see this when we met them at first. Like maybe it was adjusted because they wanted the personalities to be a little more distinctive, but I felt like they were distinctive enough in the original Clone Wars arc that we didn't need Tech to just be going, oh, why didn't you all figure out something that I figured out and kept a secret?
Yeah. I think they went maybe a little bit too hard on the Tech change, maybe. Because I definitely agree with you. They separated them out pretty well in Clone Wars, but I mean, hopefully, I just hope we get an explanation behind it, at some point in the next couple episodes.
Also, going back to the Wrecker thing, he's pretty dang stealthy. Did you not see that outfit he had in the second one? He passed by everyone.
He looked
we had no idea where he went.
Yeah, they didn't tell where he went, but he got past everybody without getting caught.
I mean, that was impressive.
In a sun hat.
Right?
Not many people can pull off a sun hat, too.
And he did.
No, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, wait, I let me rephrase that. Not many men can pull off a sun hat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that. Especially a guy as big as Wrecker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a poncho.
And a
poncho, yes.
Oh, God.
I loved Wrecker in episode 2. They're all like planning. Wrecker's doing chores on the farm to help out in a poncho and a sun hat. You're just like, he's great.
I think one of my favorite Wrecker moments so far is when he's sitting on the ship and he's just doing curls.
Right?
The Gonk droid.
That was great.
Okay, cool, man.
If I was
the Gonk droid, I'd be like, what the hell?
What are you doing, man?
He was like essentially crying every time Wrecker curled up. Like, stop, please, no.
Stop.
Oh man,
no more.
Sure, I'm sure he probably deserved it for some reason.
Yeah.
And that, like, I like Tech. I know I've been kind of ragging on him, but I want a little more like differentiation with Echo, because it really seems like the difference with him is he's a soldier. Like, and
he has an arm. He has got an arm.
He has both of his arms.
Like, personality-wise, it's just like, he's the reg. He's more standard. And you're like, I want to see some really messed up PTSD stuff, because he was held hostage by the, like, Techno Union for years.
3 years.
Experimented on.
Like 3 years, right?
At least 2, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Clone Wars is 7 seasons, but it only took place in 3 years, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's probably a solid 2.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, some PTSD, like if he's doing something and all of a sudden something affects him in a flashback.
Yeah.
And screws up the mission because he's like thinking of the stuff he's been connected to for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We never really saw any side effects from that, other than like they disconnected him.
Yeah.
And then he joined their team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The side effect was he was like, I don't think I fit in with the regular clones anymore.
And that was it. It wasn't like we don't have any.
There wasn't much development.
No. Yeah. And we haven't seen much with him other than like he just feels more standard issue personality wise. So I really want to I want the PTSD stuff, but I also just want him to have a little bit more of like, I would like to see a relationship with him and Echo or Omega develop just so we could see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Because right now his relationship with like the other members of the Bad Batch is basically like, I'm the one who deals with Tech because he's kind of a pain.
Yeah. And I think that's like one of my only complaints so far is like, I love the Wrecker stuff that we've gotten. I love the Hunter and Omega stuff we've gotten. I think Echo and Tech have been kind of left in the dust a little bit so far. I mean, hopefully they're planning some more stuff for them later in the season. But I just want to see them get a little bit more of a character arc going forward.
I'm expecting big Echo stuff when Rex pops up.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
But,
So what would you guys rate this episode so far? Out of not not using all of Star Wars stuff as a base, but just what we've seen so far.
I mean, obviously the first one ranks at the top. Like,
well, yeah,
that's kind of without question.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I really like the Crosshair stuff in this episode, and the stuff with the Bad Batch was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it felt like I'm kind of ready to get moving with their story a little bit. Like, I feel like Echo or Omega's like established at this point. I really am hoping we don't have another episode of "You belong with us, kid," because I'm like, okay, we did that like 3 times. I think we're good.
I think we were hoping to get past that after episode 2. Yeah,
I was a little bit, so it felt a little bit repetitive in that sense to me. I liked that we saw her problem solving with the dragon, and I liked that we saw Wrecker making the room for her. I thought that was nice, but I wasn't necessarily hoping for the ship broke down and Omega still needs to feel like she belongs as their storyline.
Right, yeah. Their story, like even though what we got with their story was good, it didn't really push their story further anyway.
Yeah.
That's something that I feel like Clone Wars did a big section of. There'd be some really good episodes, and then there'd be like, this is fluff.
Yeah. I'd say, like, if I had to rate it out of 10 or so, I'd say maybe like a 6.5, maybe 7 tops. I mean, it was good. Yeah, it was good. It was definitely enjoyable, but it definitely felt like one of the weaker of the 3 that we have seen so far. I'd say if I had to rank them, maybe 1, 2, 3.
That kind of even felt like the one in the the second one that we watched, the one before this, the story of we found an old clone that we saw, in previous seasons of Clone Wars. We didn't really need it, but it was interesting to see them interact with one who had been a defector.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and I think we said it on the live watch last week. It was emotionally motivated in a sense of it felt like instead of just we're bringing Omega along so she doesn't get killed or whatever, it was like, okay, you belong here. So the fact that we saw it again, it was like, did we do this? Did we do this already?
Yeah, some deja vu there.
Yeah, especially since episode 2 was a full episode of that. And this one was split between what was happening with them and what was happening with Crosshair. I feel like this episode probably could have just been focused on Crosshair and what was happening on the Empire side. Yeah. And we didn't necessarily... I mean, I know the show is called The Bad Batch, but we didn't necessarily need to see their squad this episode. It could have just been Empire focused and then gotten back to, like, after all that stuff had been set up that we got set up in this episode, go back to splitting time between the 2.
Yeah, I feel like...
I'd love to have seen more of a battle of... where they went to go fight in that aspect in the jungle. I would have rather have seen more of those guys.
Yeah. I would have liked if the episode maybe started with the ship crashing and ended with them having it fixed and fly away, and that's kind of the extent of what we saw with them. Yeah. And then, like, the middle part was focused on Crosshair and, like you said, Saw Gerrera's group.
Gerrera's group, yeah.
Because Crosshair is technically Bad Batch, even though he's not with the group right now. It still would fit.
Right.
But also, like, with Saw's group, all we know is that Saw left. Like, what's going on with him?
Where is he?
Where did he go? What is he doing? Why wasn't he with them anymore?
Way more entertaining than watching Omega climb in a hole and flash a flashlight at a space dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little like, okay, the problem solving aspect of it is interesting, but the actual, like, scene itself, you're kind of like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
If it was like 75 or 80% the other stuff, other than the Bad Batch this episode, I think it probably would have gone a little bit smoother.
Yeah. Like, literally,
as opposed to 50-50.
We just need to see the ship crash and know they were fixing the ship the whole episode. Maybe we pop back in, like, halfway through and have something, like, silly happen, like Wrecker breaks something. Like, we didn't need a whole, like, thing going on.
Well, I mean,
we still could have ship crash and being inside of monsters or things happen.
Yeah.
I feel like we still could have gotten the Omega and Wrecker and her getting her own room. Like they could have just, like, sat down just either for repairs. Like, we didn't need the dragon thing. Like, it could have just been like, okay, we need to take account of everything that we have in the ship. We need to see what we have, like, fix, like, any minor problems that we have. And while all of that was going on, we could have had them setting up she actually does need a room. Like she has to eat, like that. All that stuff still could have happened. It just didn't need to happen the way that it did.
Yeah,
for sure.
I am glad that they established though that they're eating and they have to ration stuff.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
We know that they're eating and they're rationing, but how are they going to the bathroom? Where's the bathroom on the ship?
When have they ever shown bathrooms in Star Wars?
That's a great question. Yeah.
On Star Wars, I don't know.
I don't think
I
ever
know that
shown
was
the
always
bathroom
a
in
joke
Star
in
Wars.
Star Trek.
I'm pretty sure that's where green milk comes from, but that's
Oh God. Oh God, that's a whole other rabbit hole.
So going back to the chat for just a second before we wrap out here for the night, Ria XP says, going back to about Wrecker, he meant more along the lines of Wrecker's intellect level compared to the others. He needs the most things simplified, but he still likes him.
Okay.
But he also says that his fear is that we're going down a domino squad route with their chips malfunctioning one by one. So I hope, since Echo had his brain played with is a machine, that he'll get some sort of arc for development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also says that he agrees about the Omega stuff is getting old now. A lot of people are saying this episode was filler, but it moves the story along pretty well in his opinion.
I wouldn't say it's filler. For the crosshair stuff.
Yeah, just the crosshair stuff alone wasn't filler. That like maybe the stuff with Omega and that side was filler, but the crosshair stuff definitely was not.
If it had been more of a crosshair episode, I think it would have come across as a little bit better.
Yeah, because they really established everything they needed to with the first scene. It was like of them. It was like Wrecker almost took her food. They said she didn't have a room. The ship broke. They have the part to fix it. Great. Move on to the other story, and then at the end,
and come back. Okay,
Wrecker has the room. Yeah.
I mean, the show's the Bad Batch, and there's 13 episodes left. There's going to be some episodes that are focused on the main group.
Well, Crosshair's part of the Bad Batch. I mean, technically, he's not part of the group right now, but he is.
Well,
the Bad Batch, so it would have still worked in my opinion.
This episode really kind of gave us that hint of like what's going to go on with the Kaminoans and the Empire. I don't think this is a filler episode at all. We've got a lot of information.
It planted a lot of seeds for what's going to be coming down the pike in future episodes.
And definitely. I like that the Empire guy that came in was the guy from the hologram in the last episode.
Yeah, that was good on the consistency front. Yeah.
Shay says that he feels like this was the end of a story arc with the beginning of a new story arc from Crosshair. He thinks that it's going to be moving in 3 episode segments. So like we're going to see blocks of 3 episodes that all kind of have their mini stories.
Clone Wars
building out.
Clone Wars did that. Rebels did that. For sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. 3 or 4.
Most of these Dave Filoni stories, if you look at them, they're one main story with the individual sections of them anyways.
Yeah.
They're always about 2-3 episodes of one big story arc.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think like 2 to 3 is the norm, and then the last season of Clone Wars it was 4.
Yeah. I feel like if that's the case, then this next episode would have technically then been the last section of whatever the story that they're doing right now, and then would move on to something new with the same thing.
Yeah.
So that was going to be my last question for you guys: is what are you expecting to see next week?
I'm expecting them to start the storyline of these guys have to take mercenary jobs, because that's something we've seen in trailers. It's something that has been teased like literally since the show got announced. So I'm really kind of having the moment of, let's see it. I want to see them doing like random dangerous missions. I want to see them run into people that maybe we know, but they don't. I want to see them dealing with like classic Star Wars monsters and that kind of stuff. And then on like the Empire side, I of course want to see more of all that because that's always very fun.
I think we're going to get some Kaminoan stuff. I think we're going to get, like you said, some classic character stuff. The bounty, them having to figure out how do we keep moving? Because we can't stop because we're going to get chased after. I'm hoping we get some more Saw Gerrera. I mean, where did he go?
Yeah, I did not expect to hear about him again, especially not this soon.
I thought it was just going to be a pop-up, and then there he is, and then see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you guys, and I hope we get some more of Omega, like, being able to stand on her own rather than just trying to fit in with the team. Like, I think the last 2 episodes have established that she's going to be part of the team and with the Bad Batch and everything.
Yeah.
But I hope we get to see her kind of handle herself a little bit more going forward.
Yeah, I will say, if anything, with Omega in this episode, it established like the last episode established, okay, you being here is a choice. This episode established, okay, you can kind of take care of yourself.
Exactly.
Like, we may not have felt like we needed that as much, but I do see why it may have been important for going forward. The fact they're not going to be like, stay on the ship for every single thing.
Right.
Here's a question for you guys: what planets do you think we're going to visit in this season?
Good question.
I mean, I want to go to Tatooine. I want to see I want to see Jabba assigning all the bounty hunters to go after them. I think that'd be cool.
I wouldn't mind seeing some Geonosis. Get some bug people back in there.
I kind of want to see Coruscant.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Josh. I want to see Coruscant through their eyes for a reason of being that we've now seen how the Empire has changed over. We've never really seen Coruscant in that form yet of being, you went from a republic now to an empire. What's Coruscant look like in an empire now?
And you know what I want to really see the lower decks of Coruscant, because we've only really kind of like teased it. We've seen them like Ahsoka's little storyline at the end of Clone Wars, and we saw like stuff in other storylines where it touched on it, like Fives going there to the clone bar in that arc where he learned about the inhibitor chips, or when Ahsoka lost her lightsaber. That was all in the lower decks, but we didn't really explore what that meant.
I really want to see what death sticks are. I've been wondering that for a really long time.
And Shay mentioned a Last Jedi planet in the chat, which do you want to touch on that or not? I'm thinking no, but
Canto Bite, I think
he did that on purpose.
Fun.
I love it.
Of course he did.
He did it on purpose.
It's Shay. Of course he did it on purpose.
A heist episode.
Deep breaths.
They go, like an Ocean's 11 type thing on Canto Bite. I'd be down for that.
That'd be
awesome. That would actually be kind of cool. I could see that.
Yeah, because I am excited to see what kind of like mercenary stuff they're doing. Is it just, oh, this town needs someone to fight a monster in kind of a Western style, or is it really?
Because that's what we got in the Mandalorian. So I'm like, we need to see something a little bit different than that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be opposed to going back to Canto Bite if it's done tastefully. And Dave Filoni still has not done bad stories yet.
True.
I would trust Dave Filoni with Canto Bite.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I also really want to go to Mandalore again. That's just one of my favorite planets.
Yeah. I definitely want to see Mandalore again.
And this would be interesting because that would mean at this point of time that Mandalore is taken over by
Saxon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I want to see how, because Bo-Katan got Mandalore right with the siege of Mandalore. But when the Empire took over, we know Saxon took over. So I want to see, maybe we see that happen. Maybe we see the immediate aftermath. What are we going to see with that?
Yeah.
Well, and also, too, because of this gangster timeline maybe that we're talking about, maybe we get to see a Darth Maul be a gangster.
For sure.
I wouldn't mind some Maul coming back.
Instead of maybe Jabba on Tatooine, we get Darth
Maul on.
Mm-hmm.
That could be cool.
I wouldn't be opposed to any of that.
Me too.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really cool routes to go with it.
I'll always be down to for some Sam Witwer too.
Yeah.
His Maul is so Shakespearean. It's kind of epically awesome and hilarious.
For sure.
Weirdly Shakespearean, creepy, crazy monologue while eating garbage and a spider leg is nightmare fuel for Darth Maul.
Oh yeah, Spider Maul was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen coming out of not just Star Wars, just period.
So this is absolutely not related to anything that we're talking about, but just thinking about scary stuff. I was talking with Shay before we were going on here. Sci-Fi Channel, they have they just announced a bunch of new movies that they're putting out, and one of them is a new Bring It On sequel. But it's Bring It On Halloween. It's a horror movie.
Is that the cheerleader thing?
Yeah. So it's a horror movie. Yeah. I mean, they've had 5 sequels to it by now. But this one specifically is just a complete departure from everything that had been.
I'd like a horror arc on this. That'd be cool.
I can see them doing a horror arc.
Yeah. Like it's like something just like a Halloween episode, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they could get too intense with it because this is still something kids are like should be able to watch. But I do think having kind of like a psychological thriller aspect to it for an arc would be really cool.
Yeah. Like Spider Mall was pushing it on the scary front. I don't know if they could go that scary again, but the psychological thriller thing could be cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So before we wrap out here, I know both of you guys have some other things coming up this week, but this weekend specifically, before we get into next week, tomorrow we have the Ranger wrap up, the Retro Ranger wrap up, and Star Trek: The Riker Maneuver, where we'll be talking about Star Trek Enterprise. On the Retro Ranger wrap up, we'll be talking about Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I don't remember which. That's not tomorrow. Sorry, it's Saturday. I guess it is tomorrow. Like I don't know what day it is anymore.
We're in that weird middle period.
Right? Yeah, I don't remember which episodes we're on, but I want to say it's somewhere around like 23 or 24. Well, I'll get that all posted up there tomorrow. Today, whatever. Richard, what do you guys have coming up?
We got It's All Connected coming up on Sunday again at 3:30. We're obviously going to be talking about Bad Batch. Got some Marvel stuff to talk about. Not a ton, on the Marvel DC side this week. I mean, we'll see what happens this weekend, but we'll have a good show planned on Sunday.
Why would you do that again? There's gonna be like 8 things that drop on Friday today. What are you doing?
Damn it.
He did that to us. He did that to us the day before that trailer where 6 things dropped.
Yeah.
And I just messaged him, why? You did it again.
She was ready to kill me. No, just watch. It's just going to be Caitlin and Bryson on Sunday. I'm going to be gone.
Yeah, I will have
nowhere.
My mind.
Yeah. No, not nowhere. Dead.
Totally went like, the Queen for the Alice in Wonderland, off with your head, Richard,
Yep.
I'm doing all the head jokes today. What can I say?
You're getting ahead.
What do we got?
You're getting ahead of the game.
8 o'clock on Sunday, we've got the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order. Shay, are we able to promote who's going to be on it? 5? You're giving me a 5. Is it on 5, not 8? Yeah, okay, I think it's on a 5. You can type that into the chat. That might be a little bit better for me to see. So we got. Yeah, we got the Illuminati Wrestling Order with special guests. I don't know if we can say who it is. Shay can fill us in on that in the chat if we can. Then we've got the Retro Sentai wrap up Sunday at noon, PT, I believe. And if Jamie and I and Shay are up to it on Sunday, we might hop into Twitch and do some Star Trek Online. Jezra's been bugging me to get into some stuff on GTA 5, so we'll have to see how the week goes. I don't know if any of you guys have game consoles or PC stuff. You're welcome to join us on Twitch.
If I had time to play it, yeah.
Rob, what do you got going on right now? You have anything you can plug?
My Apple show that I'm working on right now is finishing up on Saturday. So
nice.
I am done with that. Other than that, I've got some I went to Disneyland on Sunday.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
It
fun.
was quite fantastic.
Was it empty?
Yes, and that was the lovely part about it. Let me just say this much. I hadn't been there in about a year and a half. And
wow.
Mind you, I've worked for that company for a very long time, and it was very emotional for me to walk up. And if you find me on Instagram, DJWYGHT, you can find me hugging a droid like a little child in the middle of the street.
That's awesome.
Nice.
But I would say if you get a chance and go there, this is the best time to go do it because there's literally no fast pass. There's limited amount of people there, and it's like 20-minute waits for mostly everything.
Wow.
You can get on Rise of the Resistance very quickly. It's very nice. Yeah. And that was my highlight for my week was getting back to Disneyland, man. It's great.
Man, so I haven't been to Disneyland yet.
Josh,
Like I've been
do it, man.
I've been out here for 12 years now. I have
Wow.
Wait,
never,
ever?
or 10,
Ever?
10 years. No, I've been to Disney World, but I've
Wow.
never been to Disneyland.
Wow.
Gosh,
Yeah.
this is
I
the
went-
time to do it, my friend.
I
will
down
be.
there. I went at least once a year when I was
will
down
be
there.
fully vaxxed on the 30th.
Congratulations,
Or
man. That's
no,
awesome.
I'll have my second shot on the 30th. So I'll be fully vaxxed the week after that. So if everything is still the way it is, like for the next couple of months after that, I'll definitely try and make it down there. I think we just lost Rob. His video feed just disappeared.
There we go.
Oh,
There we go.
there he goes. Now he's back.
There we go. Okay, we're back.
So I guess that's gonna do it. Shay put the information for the Illuminary Wrestling Order on Sunday in the chat there. It's going to be on at 5 instead of at 8. They're talking about the Backlash pay-per-view with Justin Credible. That's a good name.
I had a friend named Justin who definitely did nicknames like that when we were growing up.
That sounds like, I don't know, Kim Possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just incredible. Yeah, well, I'm Kim Possible.
Just in time.
Yeah. My friend Justin did just in time.
Was he a wrestler?
He's a very big wrestling fan, but no.
Okay. So that will do it for us for this week. Make sure if you're not you guys have to be subscribed, right? If you're not, I don't know what else you're doing. So click the button, subscribe to us here. Follow us on Twitch. We're still kind of, I don't want to say flaky on there, but we're not very consistent yet. But that will be getting better. And we'll be back next Thursday night / Friday morning with episode 4.
I have one slight plug before I leave.
Okay.
That I actually just got done filming a film called Area 5150. We had, if you ever heard of the movie Sleepaway Camp in 1983.
Yeah.
I filmed a scene with, the killer of that.
Really?
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Shoot, her name is fleeting me right now. I can't even look it up at the moment of time. But
that wasn't Barbara Crampton, was it?
no, it was Felicia. Hold on a second. I forget her name. I feel like
I know who you're talking about, but I can't place.
I
haven't seen
Felicia Rose.
forever.
Felicia Rose. Felicia Rose was her name. She was the killer at the end of it. But we
Nice.
I filmed
Just
I filmed
spoiled
the
that
scene
for
the
everyone
horror
who hasn't
icon.
seen it.
Awesome. Yeah, so there's my one plug.
Yep. Spoilers for a 38-year-old movie.
What's that?
Spoilers for a 38-year-old movie.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea who she was when we were filming it, but besides the fact. There's
Nice.
I'm sure
my
she
plug. Go
appreciated
check it out when it comes out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next week.
You're delicious.
Ciao, boys.